You're listening to this episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. It would greatly benefit the show.
This is the show. Welcome to Movie Invaders with the Farx brothers.
Well,
Hell
there
of a
goes
opener.
my chance to get my stuff produced.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Nick.
Go ahead.
And we're here
And I'm
with
confused.
writer, producer Chelsie Knight. How it relates is that Mae Martin, the star of this show
And
creator,
director.
director, creator, writer, director, creator, and
La da da
star.
da.
Does you follow this person?
I do now.
Okay.
I was like so impressed by her.
I was going to ask which pronoun I'm supposed to use because NPR they use non-binary they
Oh,
them.
they?
In the show, this person identifies as a man, and I am not familiar with them outside of the show. So I was going to assume I used he, him pronouns, but now I'm kind of feeling like I should just use they, them to refer to.
We'll do they, them.
You said you follow this person.
Yeah, but I don't like, I'm not like trying to figure out what pronoun. I just assume
It's
it's a
on their
girl
bio.
that is looking like a boy, but I can say they, them.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
if you're
I
looking
don't
at their
know.
own content, they're not usually.
Saying their pronouns.
Yeah,
all the time.
about
Yeah, she's
themselves.
not like, hey Chelsea, call me they, them.
Yeah.
While you're listening to their podcast.
No, I don't listen to her. She has a podcast?
May is on a podcast.
Oh my gosh,
I
I
noticed
should
with
listen to it.
Fortune Fimester, who
Wait, did I
does
say
use,
she again?
I don't know, and I'm not
I'm
going
gonna
to
say
track
they.
that.
I'm gonna say they.
And how it relates to Louis C.K. is Tig Notaro, who does, I believe, use she pronouns. Tig Notaro, stabbed Louis C.K. I'm not going to say in the
Wow.
back. It was from the front, clearly, because
Can I do it?
he produced her show for Amazon, and then when the thing
Their
was
show.
no, I think Tig Notaro specifically
Oh,
is
gotcha.
is a woman identifying person, because part of her thing is that she's a lesbian, but
Oh.
like not a southern lesbian, and it doesn't
Okay.
The
play
best
into her
kind?
act a lot.
Southern lesbian, okay.
Well, that's the plot of the show One Mississippi that Louis C.K. produced with Tig Notaro.
This has gone off the rails.
Well, because kind of here's what pissed me off is that
I'm a southern lesbian.
Tig Notaro.
I'm not like
Yeah.
Tig
the other
Notaro
lesbians.
reminded me of
Southern
Mae
one.
Martin. They're similar,
Gotcha.
as my 5-year-old and I talk about a lot. Similar. Because I'm watching a show with Tig Notaro in it right now that is also
Yes.
serious, The Morning Show, because she's been on it
you watch
as...
that with your kid?
I
Is that
don't
pretty
watch.
serious
No, I do not
TV
watch the
show?
morning show.
Oh.
I lied. I have finished an episode of the morning
Oh.
show in front of my children, but they weren't having sex and they weren't swearing, so I felt okay about it. And there's rarely violence on that show.
Yeah. It's pretty
Although that
talkative
was a
show.
Me Too show because they changed it to
Steve
where
Carell,
Steve, is like Louis C.K. So why did you want us to watch this show?
Oh.
Well, I mean, the caveat is this is the first
Oh my
episode of a TV
goodness.
show that we're going to cover.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we're gonna cover like in non-spoilers. We're not gonna spoil the show. In
no,
spoilers, we're
I'm
gonna
saying because you were literally called Movie Beaters. This is the first TV show that we're covering.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
and this is the only time we're going to do it because
Hey.
Chelsea was the first guest of the show, and I wanted to have Chelsea on for the interview.
Not a big
And
deal.
like, we're never going to do shows again. Don't ask.
Okay.
Um,
I think this is gonna go well.
Yeah.
you want me to start with my opening debate?
Well, weren't you asking me why I picked this one?
I didn't
Yeah,
know if
never
you had an
answered the
answer, and I
first
was willing to
question.
pivot.
You're like, she can't answer. I'm just gonna
well,
roll over that
Morgan
one.
Roovers referred to me as a shotgun host. If
Yeah.
you don't hit him with the first volley, you load more and shoot again.
Yeah,
Okay.
but let them answer or try.
Yeah, you didn't even let me volley. I loved this show because it's so deep. The acting was amazing. And the plot was like, there were so many things that I was like, whether or not they're trying to do it, I was like, I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing there. And I felt like, coming from a writer perspective, I thought the writing was brilliant. And then the acting was brilliant. Like when I saw May on film and then found out she was the director too, I'm like, this person is, they found out they were the director too. I was like, this person is legit. Like they're so impressive. And I haven't felt that way like in a while, so I got really excited because I don't know. I guess I'm kind of picky with stuff.
What? I hesitate to ask. What's something you tried before this that wasn't to your taste? That's what I learned from a Harvard person. Is you say not to my taste.
I just find that like a lot of times we'll turn stuff on, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'd have to like really have to sit and think, but there's so many things I'll turn on, and I'm like, oh, this writing is so bad. It's so bad, and it's like just like. Or it's like trying to be political, but it's so on the nose that's not even clever.
Wait, and can you name anything that like struck you that way? Because I did think the
in
politics
this movie or in
no,
this
no. I did think the politics of Wayward were nuanced and subtle without being in your face.
So I am all for putting politics in art because that's all art is.
Everything is political.
Right. I'm cool with that. Like, that's what it's for. I don't like it when they don't do it well. And it's like, they're basically just screaming like, this is what I believe, when you should be able to watch that and then be like, oh, maybe this might force me to, or not force me, but maybe this will allow me to question some of the things I think about this. Like, that's cool. I love that.
I've heard bigger hosts than us of the Ringer Network, specifically Matt Bellamy and Bill Simmons, diss the morning show for its use of current events and we'll call it politics in some cases. And I personally love it because it's so funny because it's based on Brian Stelter's book, and he was one of those guys that out of CNN as soon as they had their like day of reckoning.
Yeah, but isn't it called the morning show? Obviously, it's gonna have news or real life things happening in it. So why would he be surprised if that happens?
It's just so poorly handled. Like one of the reasons people criticize the new Newsroom by Aaron Sorkin, who I'm the biggest fan of. I'd like to pivot to asking Chelsie if she knows who Aaron Sorkin is and how she feels about any of his shows. Do you?
Who's Aaron Sorkin?
Exactly. There are several.
I'm trying to rewatch Stranger Things right now.
Oh, to get ready for season 5?
Yeah, getting ready.
You're just
they all look
Netflix
like
shill.
adults now.
I know, it's gross. Huh?
They all look like adults now, right?
Yeah, I'm like a huge, we're going on a tangent, but I think Millie Bobby Brown is so cool. Which
Do you
is
like her
ridiculous.
Netflix movies? Any of which we could have done for this show? We probably wouldn't have because we don't do Netflix movies since they don't go to theaters.
I didn't really get into anything she's done other than Stranger Things so far. Just
Oh
because
my
it's kind of more for like younger people, I feel. The other stuff.
What?
Are we gonna do Frankenstein?
Oh, I just watched Frankenstein too.
We're going to do a debate on which was better, Frankenstein or
The Bride.
The Bride. And did you like Frankenstein? Did you watch the whole thing? One sitting?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Wait, the new one.
Yeah, I know. It's 2.5 hours.
Well, no,
I finished it in
we
one
watched
sitting.
it. We
I
broke it
sped
up.
it up in
we
the
broke
end.
it up in 2 days.
Oh,
So we did one night and then the other night. The first half I watched and my friend told me to watch it. The first half I watched and I was mad. And I texted her and I'm like, why'd you have me watch this?
Is this friend in the creative community or is this friend
She
outside
has like
of?
a film and TV degree, but she's like doesn't do work in it, but she like knows how to look at stuff.
Okay.
And she goes, well, next time, like, I was like, why would you send me that? That's so sad and, like, gory. And she's like, okay, next time I'll send you Peppa Pig and Sesame Street. Because, like, you're, like, she was kidding. Not really. But I was like, okay, fine, I'll keep watching it. And then I watched it, and I still felt awful. But I get why, from a film standpoint, it's good.
Oh, it's boring as shit. I'm going to argue
Hey,
against
I
it.
get,
in the
like,
future.
what I'm saying is probably
debate.
going to get all the awards, but I felt like shit after it. I was like,
Who's
this
gonna get
is
all the awards?
awful. I just felt the story was just so sad.
Yeah, when you go back to the 1800s,
Freaking
it's
downer. But, I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but I'm like, come on, guys. Like, at least have one thing go well for him, you know?
I mean, technically, something goes well for him at the very end.
It doesn't.
Yeah. All right.
sad.
We can't spoil it.
Wayward.
Wayward.
You asked
Carry
about
on.
Jeez, that when I tried to search that, that song kept coming up.
They'll be... Okay, I'll stop.
Just to put a button on the Aaron Sorkin thing, is people criticized the newsroom because it was coming a couple months after events, and it would like criticize how the news handled it. And it's like, well, yeah, hindsight's 2020. You'll be able to. So that's part of the problem with the conceit of the show. Wayward, on the other hand, the problem with this show is that it should have just been a movie, and it would have been a somewhat acceptable 2-hour movie. There is about 5 hours of stuff here I did not need.
Yeah, I
Oh
agree with
no,
that.
there's so
You
much character
think so?
development and all
Okay.
that. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on that like and it wasn't too long either. I felt like
8 episodes, 40-minute episodes.
So legit, yeah. I think it hit stuff that I'm like, this writer it was May the writer.
May, yes, creator, writer, director.
I wish I wish they were friends with me. Because I was so impressed.
You could probably get to them pretty easily.
Just slide
Well,
in
if I
the
used
DMs.
their proper pronouns, but I'm on the wrong foot right now.
It was in the show, it's not a spoiler to say because they brought it up on NPR, that when Alex, the character May plays, is introduced in the show, their boss introduces them by stumbling on saying him. Like, to clearly identify that the boss is doing it's a sheriff.
Yeah.
Part of the thing, like, I didn't want to bring up that this person was trans until much later in the episode because I was surprised by how quickly NPR brought it up. But what I thought was potentially an argument for this is that, well, how are you going to get Democrats to watch a show about a cop that's the hero? You know,
oh, really? Are they
Okay.
still like anti-cops?
Yeah, what do you mean?
No, they're not. But like, cops are kind of. It's hard to do like a hero cop thing now that we have body cams and stuff that show us like there's they're there to protect property and not people.
But I think it works a lot better if it's in a small town that you don't really have that big city.
Sure, that's a great argument.
Roid
I was
rage
relating
cop.
it to May. This character being trans gives. In today's world, you're seen as an underdog to some degree. A cop is high status because they have a gun and can kill people, but because this cop is a trans cop, and I'm glad it's not called Trans Cop and the Small Town or something like that.
Trans cop.
And it's not even necessary to know that. Like, I could almost see, like my parents watching the show, don't tell them that May is,
Well, it barely
trans.
comes up in the show that much.
And it's
so,
great.
Yeah.
But one of the things that
It definitely does.
it's
What's that
mentioned,
Is that
And there's a huge
big point in the
sex
movie,
scene.
though?
but you don't see downstairs.
Okay, I'm so. I think I'm missing something right now.
Wait, no. Like, you don't see the bottom half, so how would you know what equipment either party has? If you don't. Wait, do you see? Wait, I'm not
I think
remembering
like
now. Episode 3 or 4, you see like a.
So sometimes I'm worried because I'm not in the world, and I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing, and then like everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, it's so insensitive. Like, we see a sex scene, and what is May
I
go
just
down?
thought it was pretty obvious that it was. I don't know.
That
they weren't
Alex
a
doesn't have a penis.
biological.
Man.
Yeah.
No,
Was
I'm
that
saying
not
it
to
wasn't
you?
a
Like,
big
if you
deal
saw
in the show.
Them oh gosh. I feel like they're being recorded.
I don't.
Whatever. They looked like a guy.
I
would have never known.
Well, no, when you're watching the sex scene, if you were.
I mean, the first time I saw it, when they introduced the character, I felt like
By the
something
way,
was...
I didn't watch the entire sex scene. I fast forwarded through it.
That's okay.
What? You're like my mother.
Wait, what
Yeah.
episode is this? So I'll just skip straight to that one.
Yeah, like just so the audience knows, Nick didn't. I think it's episode 3 or 4.
I personally don't watch people having sex on screen
Why?
because I think it creates perversion in your mind, and so
Probably.
Yeah, and
What about all the killing you've seen?
killing.
Oh yeah, you just talked about how Frankenstein bothered you, but like to me it wasn't bad because it was someone doing like operations and stuff. I guess.
Yeah. I think like sometimes I don't like in movies when people like use sex as like an entertainment factor. I don't think that is a good part of. I don't think that's a great important part of storytelling. And I guess like I feel like some people feel like they have to put in like I feel like as the years go on the scenes get more and more graphic. Where like if you look at like older movies, they are not as graphic as they are now.
I watched HBO 20 years ago, so
I'm
to
sure
me,
you found exceptions.
Not exceptions,
but
but, like-
mainstream movies were not like they are now.
I have to quibble with that because there's always been like there used to be
There's that
mainstream.
word again.
What word?
Quibble.
Not again. That hasn't
Wait.
come out yet.
Oh,
Got you.
damn, all right, you got me.
We broke the fourth wall. I win the podcast.
Wait, so
you've
to
seen
be
the-
wait, you're saying that you don't think sex scenes have gotten more?
Yeah, and I'll prove to you.
Explicit?
I'll prove to you it has. They
Please
haven't.
do.
Okay, have you seen the movie Back to the Future? What?
Yes.
You've seen the movie Back to the Future. When they go forward from what is the theater in 1985 that they go to, and what is it in 1955?
I don't know. What?
Nick?
Well, I don't know what it is in 1950. It's some movie with fucking probably Bing Crosby or some bullshit. And,
In 55.
And now I want to see what it is. It's probably Bing Crosby or some other asshole. But like,
Google it.
it's an adult theater, and when it's in,
Yeah, in the 70s and 80s, there were porn theaters that would be out on Main Street.
Okay, you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking
two different
about
things.
Yeah, that is-
normal,
you're-
like
Yeah, what are you talking
movies.
about? Porn movies are basic.
Like I'm not talking about
with
that.
actual
I'm
sex,
talking
yeah.
about like in
Since
80s,
the invention
90s
of the printing
movies.
press, people write about sex
Yeah, but
and
they used
killing.
to show it artistically, and now it's just porn. Like
Yeah.
it's like pornographic
So
to
you're-
where they're trying to like excite the audience, and I think it's kind of like creates perversion in your mind, and it's kind of gross.
You're telling me sex scenes in the 90s. Wait, American Psycho, is that 2000 or is that
2000.
I'm
Okay.
sure you can find exceptions, but the rule is
Well,
that
I'm just
all
saying you
movies have
don't
gotten
watch the
more.
movies that would have that, but TV
No,
kind
I fast forward through them. I
I
fast forward through the sex scenes.
What's the last movie you went to at a movie theater that was R-rated?
No, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I only go to movie theaters with my kids.
I was
that's
shocked
fair.
that you recommended this show when it first
It
came
was
up.
so good.
I appreciate it.
I like, no offense to May, because I know you're listening.
I hope
but
he is.
like,
They.
I think it's fine that you did a sex scene. I'm not saying that you're wrong for that. I'm just saying that it's not my cup of tea to watch other people have sex on the screen, because I don't think it's necessary to further the story along. I think it kind of just is a way to
Titillate and make people be perverted, as you've previously
yeah.
admitted.
Yeah, because like the perversion is, a journey, right? So like you push the line a little bit, and you push it more, you push it more, you push
Yeah,
it more.
so you get
Again, I
away
have
with.
to push back on that because
That's fine.
Rule 43 of the internet.
If you think of it, there's porn for it.
Yeah,
you
but
can-
that
Yeah.
doesn't mean you have to watch it.
No, it doesn't mean you have to watch it, but just because it's like, I feel like the existence of the internet and any type of porn existing, like, if anything, movies have had to make the porn.
The porn.
The
Porn.
internet is for porn. Porn! Have you heard that song by Avenue Q? It's a real
Nobody.
song. It's
Nobody
a real
knows.
song. It was on Broadway. Anyways, because of that,
Right.
movies and TV have had to use sex in very specific ways to further story. Like Game of Thrones was
What?
famous.
Wait, why?
Game of Thrones was famous for
Why?
doing this by having sexposition. So they would give exposition
They-
while people were.
Yeah, they don't
and-
need to do that.
But the book has a lot of that because a lot of, time and memoriam have been people banging and then people killing each other. Like, the movie
Oh,
Troy,
man.
based on, history, is about, hey, I find that woman attractive and somebody else banged her. War!
I would argue in the show it was not pivotal to the story of.
I was
Them
curious
banging.
about how they got down, so.
I know this is an unpopular opinion because everyone's so pro porn nowadays. They're
Hot
all
take.
I'm not
like,
pro porn.
but
just to
there's
be
so
clear.
like our culture is like, oh my gosh, let's like make it normal. It's fine. Everything's fine. No,
I'm
it's
not saying
fine.
that just to be clear. I am not saying
Kyle.
that.
Seem pretty adamant about it.
No, I'm saying that because the internet
But-
porn exists, movies have had to get better at how they utilize any sort of sex scene. I would
Or they
argue.
can just not use a sex scene and they can just show like people kissing and then just be done with it. It doesn't. You don't have to put porn in a movie. for
Yeah,
a
they
movie
should
to be
just have
good.
people kissing.
Also, I
and that
don't
Tom
remember a
Cruise,
sex scene
Nicole
in Game
Kidman
of
movie.
Thrones where someone was given exposition.
No, it was look up the word sex.
Yeah, look up all this.
Just
Yeah,
type in
'cause
the
I-
word sex position Game of Thrones. I am not going to argue about this because it's very much a thing about Game of
The
Thrones.
thing is, when pornography is like socially accepted and pushed to be like normalized, then the lines are getting pushed further and further and further, and it's being more accessible to younger people who aren't mature enough to understand it, and it's also accessible to people that have unhealthy.
It doesn't. You've already lost. This exists. So unless you can take this away, drop
I'm
a
not.
nuke, and
Yeah, no, I'm saying that's wrong.
like first, we agree on that.
yeah.
But what we need to do is encourage people like to understand that sex is a beautiful thing between people that love each other or care about each other deeply, and whatever gets you off.
Yeah,
I
but they
know.
don't make it so graphic. You can just.
I wouldn't say
It
whatever
should be
gets you off.
passionate. It should be, I don't know,
Not
loving.
whatever.
rough against the bed frame. Like, come on.
Kids need to understand foreign pre-sales. That's why 99% of these.
You put tits in the first
What,
30 minutes.
99%? What 99% of these movies have them for is for that.
It's a very
you know?
dark industry, and if you support it, there's avenues that it goes into that hurt people that are vulnerable.
Agreed.
And so I think that it's a very unnecessary evil that doesn't further along art. So that's why I fast forward through sex scenes.
There's a TV show that is running right now on HBO that Nick, Mrs. Farx, and I are all watching called The Chair Company. At the end of episode 5, there was a straight up porn scene with an older man. I think he was playing...
playing Scrooge.
He was playing Ebenezer Scrooge, and you saw a fully erect, and then a woman got down and that's how the episode ended. And it was funny. My wife was offended.
And it was clearly fake, though. It was a clearly fake body part, but...
You don't know that. They could have gotten a stunt, you know.
I know latex when I see it. It's good looking latex, but like it was latex. I know a latex penis when I see a latex penis.
I know latex penises. They're called dildos. So.
I know all about them.
And not to be, you're watching a show called Movie Babies with the Farx Brothers. We've talked about
that
this.
was a long discussion.
They didn't break out a dildo for that, did they?
No.
That I can recall.
It's pretty tame. They don't do anything else but kiss and...
Yeah, they kiss and he goes down on her.
Is there a strap on?
He doesn't need
No, they don't have a strap on is my point.
Oh, he doesn't need to do any of that. They can just like be in love and be fine. It doesn't further the story along at all.
It's kind of weird for them to do anything
clickbait
when...
almost in movies, like to show like...
The wife's pregnant
like,
too.
there's sex in here. It's just like not necessary for art. And I hope I never ever have to create anything that has... Like, I hope I can hold that, you know. For what I make.
Well, and to be clear, I don't like making things with kisses, personally, because then you have to have a third party to go, okay, now the production wants to get this done. We need to make sure everyone feels okay.
The intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, they have a name.
I'm aware of what they're called. I'm specifically saying why you have them. Snap it hard, baby.
Oh.
Snap it hard, daddy.
Wow.
I don't want to get into another gym story in this segment. But
we should talk about like the movie.
The show, yeah.
How dare you? We are only talking about the show because
technically we haven't done that much.
The thing was lame. I basically watched this for Tony Collette. It's not a spoiler.
That's a spoiler.
Like,
yeah,
you think it's spoilers to talk about there being like thing?
Yeah, that's
Wait, how do you
definitely
not
spoilers.
spoil then? What can you talk about?
Well,
we can move right into spoilers now if you want to.
No. I don't want to spoil, but I also feel like what is the pitch for this show? If it were, what is the log line? Sorry.
Go ahead.
You're the guest. You please.
I love that it paints something out to be evil, but I can totally see why it would be desirable for someone to do it.
Weaponized therapy.
It's not weaponized therapy.
That's how I saw what it was.
It's weaponized caring.
I can see why people would want to do that therapy. Like it is presented in a negative way, but I like totally saw the villain's like reason for doing it, and I'm like, I get it. And then, like for something, seeing a couple that is not like traditionally on TV, like. I think that it was like, I mean, obviously minus like the whole sex scene, but like, I think they did it in a tasteful way.
Well, your issue with the sex scene isn't about the couple not being traditional. Your issue with the sex scene is that it exists in any way. No, any sex scene,
by the way, it doesn't matter if
you're a prude.
Whatever you like to do. I just don't like watching like other people have sex on screen.
Wait, so are we allowed to talk about how this is a show about a school? Like a reform school?
Yeah.
Like
reform school where the baddies go.
Yeah, the troubled teenagers. They're teenagers,
right? The baddies, yeah.
Yeah.
The baddies.
The kids who have gone wayward.
Yes. Oh, I saw it more as like Wicked, because they go to a school in Wicked.
But
You've seen that movie?
Magical.
They don't sing. I was a little confused that they didn't sing at this school. Or Harry Potter. They don't sing in the Harry Potter school. But I guess it's only witches that go to the Harry Potter school, not Wayward.
Witches and wizards.
Wicked, witches, wizards, Wicked, and Waywards.
I thought it... Oh, I feel like I can't say anything because I don't want to spoil. Maybe you guys lead the conversation.
Female relationships as explored through this show. Like most of the...
You're trying to get me like...
What? Cancer?
I'm trying to get you like what? You didn't like the female... I
Okay.
There wasn't a lot of it, I would say that.
I'm
What?
not against female relationships.
I wasn't referring to lesbians
No.
or bisexuals. I meant like a lot of the show, like other than May, who is a he, most of the other main characters are she's, except for a few characters. So to me, this was a woman forward show, which I liked.
Oh.
I watched Orange is the New Black. You know what I mean? This was like methadone Orange is the New Black for me. Teen Orange is the New Black, because it was sort of about a reform school where they had to stay, and Orange is the New Black is obviously about a woman's prison.
Yeah. And all the women are like pretty strong in it.
Yeah, and it's specifically about like the relationship, like a big relationship is between the headmaster of the school and her relationship to mostly women that go to that school.
Yeah.
And that was interesting to me. Like some of the characters that were superfluous, like what's the long-haired girl who was excited to be going to her
Oh my god,
leveling
she
up-
was my
Yeah, I
favorite.
forgot her name.
She was so good.
She's kind of crazy, though.
Long-haired lady was kind of crazy, has violent things occur to, and she participates in violent acts. How do you feel about corporal punishment as an idea? Do you incorporate corporal punishment in your
What is
child
corporal
rearing?
punishment?
That's when you hit them?
No, I don't hit my kids.
You know?
It's not
Physical abuse?
effective.
You're right, it's not. It's totally
No,
not.
if I hit my kids, I think they would like look at me like I was weird.
Yeah, like,
they'd be
what
like,
are you-
"What are you doing, weirdo?"
You can't,
Creep.
you can't spank me, Mom.
Like I feel like my kids are way just understanding of ethics, where they would be like, "What are you doing that's wrong?" Like I think recently I was, I was like yelling at them for something. I like was really annoyed, and I was like yelling at them. Stop yelling at us. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do because you guys like won't listen to me and I'm losing my patience. And he's like, well, then come up with a consequence. You know, like
What did you come up with?
I had them help me think of one. I'm like, well, what would work for you?
The worst is when one kid tries to come up with a consequence for the other kid.
Yeah.
You can't let that happen ever. Although sometimes,
Right.
like, that's not a bad idea.
I know.
But don't be, because it can come back to
It's
haunt
just,
you.
yeah, it's just kind of hard because like we could send us to our rooms. I'm like, your guys' rooms are awesome. And
Yeah.
they're like, well, we could sit on the couch and like not have anything to play with. I'm like, okay, at this point, you're just like having fun with this. So like,
Of course they
I'm
are.
like over it. Yeah.
Are we allowed to talk about pregnancy as a theme? And like, because
Yeah,
there's
I mean-
someone who's
Oh, yeah.
pregnant at the beginning of the show, and
Yeah.
and I think we could say it's Alex and Alex's partner that are
Yeah.
expecting.
Yeah.
Although physiologically, we should assume that that is biologically the baby of the mother, I would guess, right? And they must have
Yeah,
had
They don't
unless-
specify.
Can they scientifically, like, I think, like, scientifically they can put either
no.
woman's egg in a carrier.
Yeah, I suppose they. Wait, no. I thought it was they can mix up the male portion with, like, but they can't, because, like, when, two men choose to have a child with a surrogate, they can mix that up, and we don't know whose, guy made it to the finish line. But
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't think we can I think you have to
So-
fertilize the egg.
Yeah, you
can't,
can.
like,
You can
pick
fertilize
which
it
egg.
outside, but then you can put that in one of the moms.
Oh, yeah, so you're
'Cause
saying
I
could
have,
they have
like-
taken the egg from...
Yeah, I have a friend who's a lesbian, and they have 3 kids, and I think the plan was to switch off. Like, they were going to switch off on who carries. But I don't know if they ended up doing it that way. But the fact that they were going to plan to switch off, then that must be a thing. That they
Oh.
can, like, do something outside and then put it in either mom.
Oh, do you don't mean
'Cause
like
they
switch
both
off
want-
carrying the baby?
Yeah, they both wanted the experience of carrying
Oh,
a
wow.
baby.
Well, could they take, when you do in vitro, I suppose you could have multiple egg donors, and then if you, let's just say you have the same male donor
Yeah.
for these multiple, like 2 persons' eggs, you could then use the same donor to fertilize these eggs, and like in vitro they take multiple eggs and try to fertilize
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And then they take the healthiest ones, and that's the one they put inside of somebody
Yeah.
based on what has the most likelihood to succeed. And then they take those other ones and they freeze them for as
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
long as possible, and people adopt them. We've had someone on the show, Ian Fishman, he wouldn't mind me saying that they were able to adopt because
That's
of that.
sweet.
Yeah, and it was somebody else's fertilized egg.
That's
that
amazing.
Then, yeah, they were able to carry. And yeah, you're a pretty pro-natalist person, right?
Pro, like, babies?
Well, yeah, like
I like babies.
pro the idea of people, having kids, wanting kids. And
I think I think the only people that should have kids are people that want kids. And if you don't want to have kids, then you should make sure you're being responsible and use birth control.
Sure. The example I like to give in line with that is that I grew up with conservative Christian parents because we as the Farx brothers were separated, but actually part of the real story is that I grew up an adopted person, and therefore adoption is very special and important because someone's raising a child that for whatever reason and one of the things that an HBO show where I saw lots of gay sex, 6 Feet Under. What? I'm going
always
somewhere
comes
with
back
this.
to sex.
No, just let me finish. One of the things that was
I don't think I can let that.
for me,
I can't
other
let you
than the
finish,
gay
Kyle.
sex I watched with my parents, was that my conservative Christian parents were kind of, the topic of homosexuality, because this is pre the Marriage Equality Act going through in 2013.
You know the year?
I remember where it was.
He's
when
very
it
passionate.
happened. There was
Okay.
there was a lot of celebration at the time in St. Paul, and it was nice.
I don't even know what I was doing. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is that my conservative Christian parents were like, we are so pro, kids having homes and that sort of thing. There's a gay couple adopts in that show. And I just think that one of the things we could get, I'm interested in what issues could get 70% of the electorate on the same page. I think Republicans, Democrats, doesn't matter, Christian, non-Christian, we should all be celebratory of, because the thing is that these are kids that have grown up a little bit in the show, and those are the hardest kids to find homes for, is if they, over the age of 3.
Yes.
Stop being the cute ones that we can,
Well, people are afraid that they're messed up or something by then. But they want they're like, I want blank slate, basically.
Oh, yeah.
I know of people that,
I mean, it's just real. That's what people want.
Well,
that's what they, it feels safer.
There's foster to adopt situations where people decide at the end of the foster situation they're not ready to adopt, and that can be, difficult for all parties involved, obviously.
As a Christian, I know, people are always, I mean, this is a hard topic, but people are very anti-Christian sometimes because they're like, oh, they don't like gay people.
Well, as a Christian, we've given that impression for, I don't know, a long time.
I think that any Christian that is able to point fingers like that and point out that is very not self-aware of themselves.
They're not being Christian. You're supposed to focus on your faults and how you can improve those to be more like Christ when you know you never will be perfect.
Yeah, but I also don't want to make it sound like it's a fault either.
Oh, sure. I'm not saying that, whatever.
Yeah, but
any bad relationship could be unfortunate.
It is a confusing conversation because I'm a big church goer and I'm super Christian and I love it for my kids, but I would never.
So it's Pete Buttigieg, just to be clear. He goes to church every week.
Who?
Pete Buttigieg, famously high-ranking homosexual figure in the Biden administration, he said, your quarrel is not with me, it's with my creator. That's why when you say fault, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to give that impression at all, because...
Well, all of us are sinners, so none of us are better than the other. But I think it's really...
that last part that people don't catch on to or promote enough. They hear the first part.
Real Christians literally go to church as knowing that that's a doctor, because they know that we can't do life without help from God, because we are all sinners. So, but yes, a lot of churches are very strict on their beliefs on whether you can be gay or not, and I think that sometimes that focus is very unnecessary.
It broke up the Methodist Church not too long ago.
But I also don't think people need to be very hyper fixated on themselves either. I don't think you need to. I think there's a fine line between being super obsessed with yourself and your life and what you want to do and making everybody else be okay with it, and if they're not, then they're evil. I think people have to be more okay with people disagreeing with them, and then just walking away, right? Like, I think now it's like, if you disagree with me, you are evil, right? Like, people can't disagree anymore, or they can't have an actual conversation without fear of being targeted as like a hater or a racist or a homophobe. Like, people don't allow conversations. They're like, are you this or this? You know? And it's like,
it's very binary.
yeah, and like
white,
people might not know yet, or they might not understand. And I guess, where are we going with that?
Well, we were
What was
talking
the
about
question?
pregnancy. And
Oh,
I
pregnancy,
shared
babies,
that,
yeah.
and Christian. And,
Oh, yeah,
the baby
adoption,
thing.
yeah.
I think I hear what you're saying. I'm curious. I'll say this first. The point of this show to me is a masturbation joke, and then it's to purposely make Minnesotans disagree with each other. But what I'm curious for is like, I'm not going to ask my brothers if they disagree with you. I'm curious how you feel, like you guys as, and I don't think I'm speaking outside of church here, non-Christians, how you feel when you hear a espoused Christian feel that, because I think a lot of our like fun arguments that mostly are about politics stem from, I have this worldview, you have a different one. I don't see that. I'm pluralistic. I want there to be pluralism, which means two different views living next to each other. I'm for populist pluralism.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think people can be friends and disagree.
Yeah,
on
I
things.
agree with
That's
that.
the most fun part.
But
for
most
me.
people, but a lot of
Disagree?
people, again, like, we're in this world right now where people are so obsessed with self. I mean, the fact that so many people post selfies and like that's not embarrassing to them is really
Oh, wow.
like, that confuses me, because I'm like,
Do either of you want to come out pro selfie right now?
Pro
Nick
selfie.
does. He's got his back to the camera. He loves
yeah,
selfies.
like the fact that selfies are like so mainstream. I'm like, gosh, we've like completely like turned into this like self-obsessed, and it's like, I believe this, therefore everyone else has to believe it, and if they don't, they're evil. Because somehow I've come to this conclusion that I am just like hyper intelligent, and I know something that everyone else doesn't. Like, it's just on both sides of the political spectrum.
I would like you to be more comfortable with me enjoying this spectrum of sexual scenes that have been in R-rated movies over the past 30 years.
No, the sexual scenes, in my opinion, they cause perversion, and they lead to really like dark acts that happen to
Yeah,
vulnerable
come on.
people.
I agree
Kids
with
get
you.
exposed to porn, sex trafficking, also porn addiction breaks marriages, it breaks relationships, and also too much porn and weird porn. People get really perverted. They keep pushing the line, what's acceptable, and people normalize it.
What difference to you is it if people dress up in funny costumes?
That's
and
totally different from sex scenes. What?
Well, no. Like, what difference to you is it if someone has like a weird thing that they like to do with another consenting adult or adults even?
Why are they filming it?
Well,
Yeah,
'cause
and putting it online.
Why are they
if
putting it
money's being
online?
exchanged, it's suddenly legal if a camera's rolling.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's not evil.
I totally agree.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah.
No, like, it's all like
I
that's
was
like
giving
one
a
thing
motivation for why having the camera
It's
on.
just one thing I'm so like it's to me it's just so clear. It's like porn is it's so, I mean, you can't even scroll on Instagram or YouTube without there being like explicit images. You can't even watch a show on TV without weird stuff coming on commercials.
I don't watch commercials, so this isn't a problem for me as much. And
The
if you
thing-
select the kids thing on the menu, it doesn't let you.
Also, your, like, it's like your tolerance, right? Like, your tolerance is a lot more accepting than mine, because, like,
Not with my kids, but
no, but, like, I have such a hyper tolerance for it that because, like, I just don't allow it. So then when I see something, it's a lot more unsettling. And so, but when you expose yourself to it over, like, when you see stuff, you don't have that tolerance
Yeah,
anymore.
kind of desensitized to it.
Yeah.
So here's like my perspective on, and this is funny that Wayward with its one sex scene has led into this. Like,
Yeah.
Well, any
apparently.
sex scene, not just Wayward.
no, I understand. I'll give a violent example, then I'll give a sexual example. So from the violent example, like, I've seen blood and stuff, and when it happens in real life, my reaction is, well, I've seen enough movies that the person who starts going, is the least competent here, so I've thought through this, and my job now is to be calm when I'm seeing something violent. Like I told this story before, someone cutting their hand, and then in my calmness, like it was someone else's responsibility to deal with that person because it was a child. But I said, put your hand above your head, just so that less blood comes out.
Buddy, that's sad.
They did. It helped.
Yeah.
And the kid's fine.
Is he?
I've seen him
He
recently,
doesn't
he's
sound fine. Okay.
He's been here. He helped put some of this stuff up.
Then he's fine. Yeah.
He wants to come back to finish Minions because he didn't know Minions 1 existed, but he'd seen Rise of Gru.
Oh,
I know
gotcha.
you'll get that.
Yes.
See?
Yeah. Yeah.
Minions 1 comes before Rise of Gru. Rise of Gru comes before Despicable Me 1.
I don't fucking care.
I still want you. I'm so pro-natalist. I want you, if you're able to someday to have kids, I want you to have kids if you want.
Back to the point.
And the sex example I would give is that I feel as though I was more open, accepting, and not like, ugh, that's gross and weird, when I had seen a variety of different types of relationships, both heterosexual and non-heterosexual, in movies and television.
You don't have to ever see those things because we don't have to put any of that into movies or television. That can just be saved for privacy.
Honestly,
that's my point. You don't have to learn about any of this stuff. You can just explore sex with whoever you're like in a relationship with. Yeah. You don't have to have examples.
No, doesn't matter. I'm so like.
And what's wrong with being kind of grossed out by some of the shit? Because some of it's weird. And now women are being told like, hey, you need to like, have you done this yet? This is the next step.
I completely agree that like, the scavenger hunt sex
stop
stuff
being
is bad.
Weird. Like people need to be told more often like you're being weird. I'm sorry. Like
yeah.
You can have pluralism. Some things some people do are weird, and then you don't have to have a problem with it. That's actually kind of what the show is about, is why are all these people being so weird? Do I have a problem with how weird they're being? Ultimately, the show makes a decision on the weirdness of the town, and, you know.
Well, it's like, so that's weird.
Yeah.
You know.
That's a spoiler.
I'm so bad at this. Yeah.
I mean,
probably
go to
spoilers. You want to go into spoilers?
Yeah,
I think we need to. Wait, was this an okay? Did we conclude?
More or less.
You guys say something, Nick. Nick, you say something. What do you think about sex
movies? So that we go to the next segment.
Sex movies? I can say I can't think of a sex scene I've ever seen that was like, oh yeah, this really needed to be the thing. But I get why they're there, and it's like.
Wait, why are they there though?
I mean.
For foreign markets,
they sell the movie. I mean, if they can put a snippet of it in the trailer and like, oh, you might.
Okay, so isn't that such a good point? That shows that it's literally for like not the art anymore. It's this might sell my movie. Yeah. So that's why
some things before, yes, that was the case up until about 2000, and then like the proliferation of online porn has made it less of a market for movies to be made that way. Because I remember going into a meeting in 2009, 2010 with a producer in Lower Michigan when there was a lot going on there. Mm-hmm. And the first thing he said to us about our script, it was me and another person. I had not gone to my Kennedy Center audition that I had made for being good in the play.
Very specific. Okay.
It's just so that you can verify.
I haven't gone to my Kennedy audition yet, but
why bring up that tidbit? Going to my Kennedy Center audition to go to this meeting where
okay.
I had been introduced to this guy who produced movies, and, he made a couple of features that were released, and he made money on.
Cool.
First thing he says
But he included a sex scene in every one of those movies?
Can there be nudity in the first 30 minutes?
I hate him already.
Well, no, it's not. Okay. This is the thing Nick is talking about. It's the system of, here's how you can make money on a movie that goes direct to video overseas, if it has nudity here, and somewhere before the end.
But we're sacrificing our morality.
Yeah, are we trying to make a movie, or are we just making nudity?
Different people have views on nudity as being, sexual and wrong.
Well, I'm not saying just like nudity. I'm saying like sex scenes, porn in movies, where it's very graphic and they're like it's clearly there to make money, and it's not there for the art.
So if a sex scene is artistic, you're cool with it?
I don't think it's artistic.
I'm trying to think of artistic sex scene.
Yeah,
have you ever seen
know.
Eyes Wide Shut, or are you familiar with the existence of the movie and what it?
That's not artistic at all.
That's super artistic.
Is it an orgy movie?
Well, the point is
isn't it Tom Cruise going to an orgy?
Well, it's
Or
Tom
am I
Cruise
thinking
getting
of someone else?
inducted into what he believes is an upper class in New York, and he's already a very successful doctor. But what he finds out is that the upper class is just a bunch of, the origins.
I wouldn't call it that artistic then.
But it's done in
Also,
a way
why
that
are we
scares you and makes you go, oh, wait, is there I don't know, let's call this a class of people who are senators, governors, presidents, rich bankers, celebrities who engage in sex trafficking.
So how does that benefit anybody?
Because they can get away with it. Because of
So
where they
let's
are in
put it in
society.
our movie?
But,
Hey,
like,
I
yeah.
hire or fire the DA, so I can get away with doing certain crimes.
Yeah, but
because
so let's put it in our movies. So I don't understand the correlation there.
Well, I'm saying Eyes Wide Shut is good because it brought to basically it tells everyone, hey, the Jeffrey Epstein thing is going on. Before that, was,
Yeah, but look how long
They're
it's
using
taking
they're using it as an entertainment thing, though.
to get it out. I mean, it's not even
I think he
released
killed
yet.
And
Stanley
intrigue
Kubrick because he
people.
made that movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I just think like there's a time and place where I think there's nothing wrong with a little bit of shame, you know.
I really want to watch the movie Eyes Wide Shut, like as two couples sometime.
We put it just as two. I'm sure our significant others will really love
No,
that.
Vienna actually did like this movie, and I like to call it a Christmas movie because it takes place like the week before Christmas.
I'm way more anti like sex scenes, I think, than like I don't want to speak for my husband, but like
You can. He
like
told me.
I think he would be like I think he's similar in my view because we both like go to church and like we learn like we're constantly being reminded of where our morals lie. So when something does come on TV, like he too is like, cause he's so sensitized still, you know, like, cause even if you've been watching it, if you like don't watch it for a while, your sensitivity comes back. So like if like let's say there's like this crazy guy that's like I love this stuff and like watches all the time, like if he stops like
I'm picturing him right now. I love.
Are you looking in a mirror?
Yeah, all right.
You're looking at me.
He's just basking in.
I think like for him like it's kind of annoying. I don't want to speak for him, but like to him like he's gets annoyed by it too because he's like what? Because like as the father of our house, he has 3 daughters and a son. He doesn't want his son to get like weird shit happening to him or like get him addicted to weird shit. He doesn't want my daughters to grow up in a world where there's like girls that are like half always naked and like feel like they have to live up to these crazy beauty standards.
But if they
it's
like
a
wearing
chain.
crop tops, why, like in the 70s people did it. Like,
That
you know what I
doesn't
mean?
make it right.
No,
I'm not saying crop tops are bad.
I'm
Well,
drawing lines and using specific
Yeah,
examples.
but why? But we had this argument earlier today. Aren't you
Oh,
also?
really?
Yeah, no.
Why are girls wearing crop tops
No,
and guys
no,
aren't?
that, no,
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 it
that,
wasn't
the idea of exposing your children to these things. If Chelsie doesn't want that exposed to her kids, isn't that her right not to
I'm
have that
totally
exposed?
100%.
Don't make my daughters wear crop.
Yeah, so
No, that's not what I'm
I
saying.
know
the
it's not.
argument
what
here?
you're saying.
I'm saying that for some people, you might not want your son when he's 13 to see girls in sexy bikinis at the beach, but I'm also uncomfortable telling those women they have to wear more because that's how certain, religiously run societies decide to, have burkinis. And I just know there's a line in the other direction that I would rather not be anywhere close to. Like
The other
consequence-
direction makes sense. It's really annoying when like we're at the gym and girls are wearing thong bikinis in the children's pool. I'm sorry if I offend people with that, but everybody stop wearing thongs in places where kids are in public.
But
If you want to wear a thong, go to a place where it's adults.
I hear you, but also
Do you want your daughters wearing thongs?
if they are comfortable with their bodies when they are of a certain age, I, as their father, would advise strongly against it because
Why?
men are dogs.
Okay.
And have, like, look at this dog right here. He's going to take a pee outside like a dog.
I saw a man in a thong at the community center, and I have this. It's not just women wearing thongs. I think it's really gross when adults.
Like the Borat.
Yeah, no, he was wearing a thong. I think it's gross
man.
when grown adults wear thongs in the presence of children. I think it's perverted
Because you
and
can see their
disgusting.
butts.
Yeah, my
Okay.
kids don't want to see adults' butts.
I mean, your kids probably find most adult butts funny.
No, they don't.
I'm
No.
sorry. Because like you also see a Minions butt in one of their movies.
Would you want a man walking by your daughters with his butt showing?
If somebody was wearing a thong, like a Speedo.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was a swimmer, so I remember.
No, you didn't wear thongs though.
I wore jammers, and I only wore the thong for one season.
You wore a thong?
I wore the.
That's a Speedo.
A Speedo.
He was wearing a thong.
The difference between a Speedo and a thong is the Speedo comes a little more ass cheek.
No,
right? That's the
Speedos
difference?
are. Oh my gosh, no.
I wore Speedos.
You would never, if you saw a dude walk by your daughters at a kid pool with a thong, there is no way. I don't believe it.
Like, is he fully erect?
Ew, no. But also, you wouldn't like it. I know you're trying to be like, I know you. There is no way in your body you wouldn't have a tinge of like, what the fuck?
Those are two different things. There is, what do I want to regulate and how do I feel? There are lots of places, Kirk would tell you, I feel lots of things that I
want to regulate the
want.
world to be safe for kids, yes.
I
want kids' innocence to stay maintained, and I think regulation is needed.
Get rid of the pedophile president. I mean, you know, like that's really...
People are trying. People are trying.
I'm not actually sure if he's a pedophile or not, but I love that I live in a country that does not stop me from saying things like that. And the minute we start trying to go, well, you can do free speech up to here, you can only show your body, like... I would be okay with... Okay, how about this? It's not necessarily sexual to always see a woman's breast, but are you for free the nipple when it comes to breastfeeding?
I'm not saying... I'm saying we need to explore why women want to show people their nipples in public that aren't asking to see
What if they're breastfeeding? That's my only question.
Why would that...
Just in the circumstance
I
of
think
breastfeeding.
intent is so important. If you're trying to get attention, that's not endearing or cool. If you are feeding your kid, that's endearing and cool.
Yes. So
if you're trying to get attention,
society, you're fine with women not, covering themselves when they're breastfeeding.
Women and men. I am not into you if you do stuff for attention, and if you're making people look at your body that didn't ask to look at it.
You don't have to look at anyone's body, is my thing. And like,
but they put it in your face.
Body,
it's all.
You can be comfortable in your body. That doesn't mean you have to like prance around. Like, go read a book. Right? Go get it. Like, go learn something. Go travel.
Do something productive.
Well, if you travel, there are places that have nude beaches.
If the thing you need to do, if you feel comfortable in your body and you're like, everyone needs to see this now because I'm comfortable, like, maybe do some deep diving.
Well,
do something cool with your life. We're only here for a little bit.
There's something here to like, what swimsuit are you comfortable with? And it's like, no, I don't want my daughters to necessarily wear thong bikinis, but I also recognize in my head that at some point when they're like somewhere between the ages of 16 and 26, they might. And
they won't if it's not normalized. The only reason girls are doing it now is because we've made it normal. They weren't doing that when I was growing up. It was weird. If somebody was doing that when I was growing up, I'd be like, what the? Like, now it's like every other swimsuit is like that.
So
you know how many women I talk to that are so frustrated that you go to a store and you can't buy a swimsuit that's not a thong?
I would totally believe that that's the case.
Yeah, it sucks.
But
like,
also,
we normalize. We're so hyper fixated on ourselves that we think that because we feel good about our body, we need to show it off. You know, you can feel good about your body and just be cool.
I just don't like. Again, you're asking for society to regulate people's bodies more, and I just don't want that.
I don't, regulate is like so for example.
This part's gonna cut out. I think, but let's go.
So we had so we had a man in our neighborhood, like this summer, and he was caught exposing himself to kids.
Oh, you should kill him. I mean,
why?
You should legally go through the things. But then
why would we regulate what he wants to do with his body? He wasn't touching the kids. He was just touching himself. Why would we regulate that?
Minnesota, and I wish I haven't verified this, but I saw some like map that like bad maps of places you can be naked in your yard if not visible from the street. You're allowed to be naked in your yard if not visible from the street in Minnesota. There are also places where you are just allowed to be naked in your yard, period. in the United
Okay,
States.
but you didn't answer my question. This guy.
Obviously, I wouldn't live there. Obviously, I wouldn't live there. I want that guy to move.
Why do you want him to move? That's his body.
Because he's exposing himself to children. There's a
But
difference
you can
between
expose yourself in a swimsuit?
There's a difference between seeing your
Wait a minute.
genitals.
What's genitals?
The front part.
Why
The
does that
butt
matter
is not
more than-
genitals.
why?
The butt isn't because it's not.
Why is the butt not genitals?
What
They
the
don't- you
genitals
don't-
has to be a
they don't-
reproductive organ.
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's- yeah, I'm
Genitals
like, you don't-
defined
The
as-
butthole needs to be protected?
No, reproductive.
The only thing that's a genital is what is used for reproduction.
Yeah.
Why does that mean that
I don't
deserves
know.
privacy and butts don't?
Legally speaking, as long as you got
Not legally speaking.
as long as you got floss going between the cheeks, you're good.
I'm saying if this is a debate, right?
Yeah.
I
Here we go.
enjoy it.
So you think that this guy exposing himself to kids is wrong, and you said kill him.
Yeah, because he's probably a pedophile if he's exposing himself to kids. Like, my instant reaction is kill him.
Yeah.
It's like George Clooney being asked when he's
But
the
it's
politician,
okay
if someone kills your
for-
wife, what would you do? I'd kill that guy.
But
you
it's
know?
okay for a guy to go to a community center that literally has a caterpillar pool, like a slide. Clearly, kids go there.
Uh-huh.
It's okay for him to wear a Speedo because he's comfortable in his body, and we don't want to regulate him.
What if...
We're leaving room for weird people to do weird stuff. We're being too nice.
I believe there's
Reminds
the
me of
possibility for toxic empathy.
I talked
Toxic
I
empathy?
talked to the deputy about because we had this
Okay.
guy. This guy not only went up to girls at a lemonade stand in my neighborhood, exposed himself, and said he has a wiener for them, and then he started humping the beach.
Damn.
And he was doing a ton of stuff. This is right in
You just
my
film him for 5 seconds and boom.
There was no adults around
Because
because they were older kids.
Uh-huh.
The deputy and I talked because I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do? And he's like, I'm sorry, Minnesota is such a sex offender friendly state that
Damn.
this guy,
Why is Minnesota a sex offender friendly
because
state?
there's groups of people that are like, we need to care about their mental health. And so you have to be a category 3 sex offender to be listed. And there was a guy that tried to take a kid in Chanhassen, and he got caught before he could take the kid, and he still isn't category 3. The only way you're category 3 is if you actually get away with the crime. So
Sheesh.
what I'm saying is it's chain reactions.
But I get the letters if you expose yourself to kids, a letter gets sent out if you move somewhere in Minnesota.
Well, they never caught him.
Well, you can't enforce the law against people you don't catch.
Well, they couldn't catch him because they said they tried to, but they said that there is such a high number of sex offenders in Minnesota
Jeez.
that they get these calls every other week. Because I was like, hey, should we put this on the news so that parents know to be with their kids in the area? And they're like, we can't because we'd be in the news every week.
Okay.
So again, guy exposing himself, that's not okay. But a guy wearing a thong bikini at a community center pool is okay. I disagree.
So one of the things I completely agree that the guy in your neighborhood,
Also, what possesses a dude to be like, I'm going to wake up today?
probably he was
Speedo?
molested as
Oh.
a child. That's the most.
Well, then he should go to therapy and not keep the chain going to other kids.
I completely agree that would be an ideal situation, but much of the world is not ideal. Isn't that what you learned about in church?
But that's why we need guardrails and regulations to keep people from hurting vulnerable people.
What if somebody was transitioning and that relates to would you be okay if Mae Martin is an attractive, thin person, but if Mae Martin wasn't as attractive and they were, going through a transition and therefore, showing the upper half of their body at your gym because they identify as they're transitioning to be a man, and it's inappropriate to ask if they're pre-op.
So
or
they
post-op.
basically have breasts at this point?
Well, I don't know,
I think okay.
So I'd be really uncomfortable with gyms having to check if you've had an operation.
Well, you can't be shirtless in the gym anyway.
I think there's a
In the
level.
pool you can.
Okay, if you're transitioning, I don't think just because you're transitioning you lose common respect for other people. So if you're about to show something that looks like something that's normally covered, have respect and just don't be aggressive about it, right? I don't know, like, it's not necessary for everyone to show off everything they have and for everyone to be running around being like, look at me, look at me, look at me.
Yeah.
So you're
If I was, okay,
you're
so
very
if I,
open and accepting of the trans community. It's just you don't want anyone to overshow their body.
well, no,
That's when they're overshowing
it's
their
if
body.
they're,
To some
like, it's
degree.
all about intention, right? So, like, if they,
But we
if
don't know people's intentions, and you can't measure.
you can
the
tell,
place makes
you
the
can tell if
intention.
people are being weird.
Yeah.
You can tell when
The
people-
guy wearing a Speedo at the community center was being weird.
You said it was a Speedo?
No,
It was thong.
thong. I don't
Okay.
care about Speedos. I mean, I obviously would prefer them not. I'd rather them put on.
Because you could see the butt. Like,
Yeah.
to
Well,
me,
no,
it's
like,
we're talking,
it's
we're
just
talking about
weird. It's like,
inches
just
of,
stop.
Like lycra here. To me, it's
No,
like,
you can like see their butt hairs and shit. It's gross.
I mean, you're gonna like. if
And
you-
the back of their nuts.
If
It's really
hairy
gross.
on the inside of the leg, the what? The
Back of the
backside.
nuts.
Well, they're
Yeah,
not wearing a
'cause they're
properly
falling
fitting,
out. Okay.
It's an improperly
Yeah, they-
fitting thong.
Well, are
Don't wear
properly
that,
fitting?
yeah.
What if someone's comfortable with their body and they want to wear an improperly fitting thong? I mean, what's wrong with that?
I do agree with some standard at some point. Like, I'm not obviously okay with anyone exposing themselves to children, but I also worry about, like, hey, you can't wear that, swimsuit at this swimming place. That's the thing I'm nervous about.
What makes that nervous? What freedom do you think we lose with that?
Because it's not far.
Why
from
is it so
bikinis.
important for someone to be like exposed? Like,
Well,
why is that
how do you
important?
make
Why
that
is that an
jump from
important
bikini
freedom?
to
You
What?
should be able to, like, you bro them out of doing it, I would argue.
Bro
Don't
them
ruin
out.
everyone else's time with your like weird sexual body stuff. Like if it's a public pool, just be cognizant that people. It's like saying like okay, let me think.
What about a morbidly
Let's say
obese
you were
person?
in the
Are you
Middle East.
offended by them?
Let's say you're in the no.
Okay.
Let's say you're in
I
the.
am.
Whoa.
Let's
That
say you're.
focus-
Sorry, the morbidly obese. Get help.
Okay, let's say you're in the Middle East and like a lot of people wear more clothing there.
Uh-huh. You
Would-
mean women?
Would you? Well, the men, they seem like they wear a lot.
Well, yeah,
more.
they're protecting themselves from the sun.
Would you go to one of their pools and wear a thong?
Man, is it a dare? Like, am I being filmed? Like, you're asking someone who, at one point in their life, was like, I do like Jackass, and,
I think
like
people need
every
to.
young
I
boy.
think people need to, instead of like being like, I'm fighting for this freedom, maybe evaluate why you want that so much.
I just don't want
There's
restrictions.
so many better things worth fighting for.
I am
Yeah.
willing to argue
Restrictions
against
keep
things.
creepers away.
So
That's
you're
fair.
arguing she's pro-restriction. I just want to argue that the
Rules
argument
and
we-
restrictions keep the awful, weird people that do awful things to people. It makes it harder for them to commit crime.
I don't like the word weird in this circumstance because, like, you think being a creative person
Perverted?
is weird. Yeah, like perversion's obviously that's more specific.
Okay, perverted then.
It's more accurate to what I believe you mean than
Yeah.
like, oh, she's got weird hair. Don't let her wear a swimsuit
Well, I
at the beach.
can't see Chelsea's point. Like, what point do we draw the line here? If we keep moving the line, eventually, would you just go everything nudity? Everything's gonna go nude, or
I
do
want
we?
you to come to my beach because I want to know if you're cool
I
with
don't
what
know.
people are wearing it.
I mean, but
I
if
deal with it. Like I don't like I'm always around all this stuff. Like I deal with it. I'm just not like I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's impressive. I don't think it's impressive when somebody's like overly showing their body. It looks really like self-centered, self-indulgent, not thinking about anybody around them. Like think about this. What if there's like a Muslim couple at the beach and the wife is sitting there and maybe depending on what type of Muslim, whatever, I shouldn't even say Muslim, some type of religion where she has to be covered up and she has to sit there and be like, she has to sit there and have this girl that's like naked in front of her. Like how uncomfortable, like I'm saying there's nothing wrong with having respect for other people.
I would rather be in the country where people underdress than in the country where people overdress, and that's just how I see it. Is that I'm more worried about the other thing than I am the other thing. So like, there's a reason I'm not going to go to the Middle East in a jockstrap is because I don't want to. I'd probably get burned like crazy.
there are other
I'd be
issues.
sunburned.
There are other issues in the Middle East than people being overdressed. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That might solve all of them, though. They drop
Need
you.
it.
They drop you in Gaza, dude. You're just it's.
Okay,
in a
guys, I'm gonna clean
jockstrap.
up wearing this. That's what we should do.
And then
We should-
everyone just unites.
Listen, Jared Kushner, we will let you make your billions off of Gaza, but you gotta wear a thong while you do it. If Jared Kushner wears the Borat swimsuit while cleaning up Gaza, personally, we let him make the billion off of Gaza. Cool, everyone?
How do you feel about this argument?
Okay.
We normalize minimal clothing or revealing clothing, specifically swimsuits, right?
Wait, we normalize it?
Our culture does.
More so than, say, compared to a Qatari pool that I'm assuming everyone in
No,
their
like
society
since
has
the
access
last
to?
decade, since social media, it's gotten worse. And so so all this trickles down. So clothing gets more scandalous for younger girls. When you go into the little girl section, you're now seeing way more bikinis, way more cheeky bottoms, crop tops everywhere. You are not even indirectly, it directly sexualizes young girls, which makes them, like, it completely takes away the innocence of generations of kids. Like, this is so much bigger than just, like, someone being like, I just want to be able to be, like, free. Like, no, man, like, this whole movement is putting young people in danger because, like, when you dress a young girl like a woman, she's going to get attention from, for less or better words, perverted men.
Yeah, but it's not what she's wearing, it's their problem. They're the ones with the problem looking at, the child.
So you
I
should
don't
solve
know,
that
man.
problem, too.
Like, obviously,
If you're
I don't
literally-
want
if you're
to put
dressing your
rouge
kid
on my
like-
daughter and go, hey,
But why?
I said rouge as like an old-timey version of,
Well, I would also make the argument perverted people don't care about how people are dressed. They'll imagine it. They'll do whatever they need to.
I know, but
get one off.
normalizing it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the way we've normalized it is that we have Congress people and judges that clearly have gotten away with it, that for whatever reason, because they've got enough money, and can afford the layer. That's the thing I'd rather fix. The problem is to do that, if you shoot at the king, you best not miss. So until you get that, you'll be able to get, like, the weird guy in your neighborhood. How are you not able to, like, start a community thing against him? That's what I wonder. How does the community organize
We can't
around
find him. I don't think he lives in our area. I think he's like a traveler pedophile guy.
You think he's a
I think he like changes locations because he
Traveling
like did a
pedophile.
few things and then we couldn't find him
But,
again.
and if I feel like it's important to say, I know this because I don't know why I know this, but like 2/3 of the time when a child is molested, it's by someone they know, like a family member. And
Well, they
most
didn't know
likely-
this dude.
Yeah, I'm saying
Yeah.
that is statistically less likely is the thing.
I mean,
That's statistically unique.
I mean that's a statistic. Maybe it's true. I don't know.
Sure,
Like,
there's negative outcomes to human lives on all ends of a statistic. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
I think that like we when you normalize certain things, it makes a chain reaction to normalize other things. And again, like perversion, there are people that are perverted and will do awful things. But I think there are people that things can be turned on if they're exposed to certain things or ideas, and that can be negative, right? Like, it's like the whole argument with, like, sometimes if kids play really violent video games, it's been shown that they might have more violent tendencies later.
That's not true.
Well,
There's
it's
not
like...
a study that shows that.
Well, I heard that.
I understand
that was a thing.
But
or, like...
it's mostly the opposite.
Sometimes
that they're
things
less...
can put ideas in people's heads.
Because like they try to use that argument for like, why are all these school shootings happening? It's because of the violent video games, but they've found mostly that the people who play them, like their heart rates go down, and like sure, I've argued this on the show before. There's probably people who play it in the 1% who are like actually like super, But they would have so like with your boy, Mr. Exposer in your neighborhood, he would have other vectors by which you could go, oh, this guy, I mean, come on, Like we're able to catch him some other way because they,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a Louis C.K. joke, which is how we opened this segment, is that like, man, I like Almond Joys, but if you told me Almond Joys would make me scorned by everyone in society and they would put me in rape me jail for the rest of my life, I would stop eating Almond Joys. And he's talking about the thing we're talking, pedophilia.
Yeah.
You've heard this one, right?
Maybe
it's like a 20-year-old.
All right. I think that's...
So Almond Joy is
I don't know how to end this segment.
pedophilia. Is that what it? So that's what I liked Almond Joy.
I can't wait till you edit this one.
Man.
Try not to make me sound terrible.
And we mostly let it go. Well, you can do one of our guests who had us.
This is
cut
a
up.
very long non-spoiler segment for Wayward. I think we completely went off the rails, but I think we had a good discussion. So let's hop into spoilers. Thank you for listening. For more JK Productions, find us on Instagram at JK Productions Team and on Facebook, JK Productions MN.